The crash came without warning. One moment, Captain Ryan Cole was gliding through the endless dark of space, his ship damaged but still holding together. The next, alarms screamed, metal groaned, and fire filled the cabin. He pulled at the controls, but nothing answered. The ship spun down toward the glowing planet below, a place not marked on any human star map. He thought he was going to die. When Ryan woke, he was lying on soft ground that smelled like rain and flowers. His wounds were bandaged, his armor removed. Strange shapes stood around him, tall, slender beings with skin that shimmered faintly under the twin suns. Their eyes were bright silver, and they spoke in low musical tones that his translator struggled to understand. "Human," one of them said. "You fell from the sky." Ryan tried to sit up, but pain shot through his shoulder. "Where am I?" The tallest alien, wearing a cloak of woven gold threads, stepped closer. "You are on Orinda. My people found you. You are safe. For now." There was something in his tone that made Ryan uneasy. Gratitude and fear mixed in his chest. He remembered his mission, a patrol gone wrong near the edge of enemy space. No one from Earth knew where he was. The alien looked at him for a long moment, then said something unexpected. "You will stay here. You will live. But only if you marry my sister." Ryan blinked. "What?" The alien folded his arms. "It is our custom. A stranger must become one of us or leave forever. My sister, she has no mate. She cannot see. She is blind." Ryan thought he was joking, but the alien's silver eyes never changed. "You want me to marry her?" "Yes." The alien introduced himself as Chief Aryan, leader of the Orindan tribe. His people had hidden from humans for generations. Long ago, soldiers from the stars had brought fire and poison to their lands. Ryan could see the scars on their world: burned forests, twisted metal ruins. Aryan's voice softened for a moment. "You are not like the ones who came before. You were hurt. You did not fight." "My sister believes that means something." Ryan frowned. "Your sister doesn't even know me." The chief gave a small smile. She said, "Bring him. He has a kind soul." "I can feel it," the tribe murmured among themselves. Ryan caught words that his translator struggled to shape. Curse. Human blood. Danger. He didn't understand what was happening, but he knew he was in no position to refuse. His ship was gone, his weapons broken, and he was alone on a world that distrusted humans. Still, the idea of marrying a stranger, an alien girl, felt absurd. "I can't do that," he said quietly. "I just need to repair my ship and—" "You cannot leave," Aryan interrupted. His voice hardened like stone. "The storms around this planet destroy any ship that tries to rise. You will die if you try. Marry her and you live among us. Refuse and we cannot protect you." Ryan looked around. The tribe's eyes all shone the same way, silver, calm, and watching. "Where is your sister?" he asked. "She waits for you," said Aryan. "She said she will know you when she hears your heart." That night, under the pale light of twin moons, Ryan followed two guards through the forest. The air was full of strange glowing insects. The sound of running water guided them to a small clearing. There, by a crystal stream, stood a girl in white robes. Her skin glowed softly, almost like moonlight on water. Her hair was silver blue, flowing to her waist. But her eyes, why, there were none. Just smooth skin where they should have been. Yet she turned her head toward Ryan as if she could see him perfectly. "You came?" she said in a gentle voice. "I'm glad," Ryan froze. Her voice carried a warmth that didn't belong to this cold world. "You're Lyra," she smiled. "Yes, my brother said you are human. I've always wanted to meet one. They say humans are brave but also cruel. I think they are wrong about you." Ryan stepped closer. "How do you know that?" She tilted her head. "Because I can't see how ugly you are." He stared, unsure if she was teasing or serious. Then she laughed softly, on a sound like wind through glass bells. "Don't worry. I can't see faces, but I can feel hearts. Yours is loud and afraid." Ryan felt something shift inside him, a strange peace mixed with confusion. "Why do you want to marry me?" he asked quietly. Lyra turned toward the stream. "Because I dream of seeing the stars. My brother says humans come from the stars. Maybe if I touch one, I'll understand what I've been missing." A cool breeze passed between them. The forest lights flickered like distant galaxies. For the first time, Ryan noticed the small silver mark glowing faintly on her palm, the same color as the tribe's eyes. She held out her hand. Take it, and I will show you what I see. Ryan hesitated, then touched her fingers. A rush of images filled his mind. Strange worlds, crying voices, burning skies. He gasped and pulled back. Lyra smiled sadly. Now you know why they call me cursed. Her blind face lifted toward the stars. But maybe you were sent here to change that. Ryan stood silent, heart pounding. He didn't understand what he had just seen, or why he suddenly felt that his fate was no longer his own. Above them, thunder rolled across the alien sky, as if the world itself was warning him. And in that moment, Ryan realized this was no ordinary proposal. It was the beginning of something far greater, and far more dangerous than he could ever imagine. The next morning, Ryan woke to the soft sound of bells. Outside his tent, the alien village glowed with morning light. The air shimmered faintly, as if dust itself carried silver. Children played with floating lights. The people moved gracefully, but every time they saw Ryan, they went quiet. He felt like a ghost among them, alive, but not truly welcome. Chief Arian met him near a stone circle where crystal towers hummed gently. You met my sister, he said in a flat voice. Ryan nodded. She's not what I expected. Arian studied him. Lyra is kind, too kind. She trusts easily, and that trust has cost her before. Be careful with her heart, human. Ryan frowned. I don't plan to hurt her. Good, Arian said. Because if you do, no one will ever find your bones. The words were calm, but Ryan understood the warning. Later that day, Lyra appeared at the edge of the forest. She carried a bowl of glowing fruit and smiled as if she could see him perfectly. You didn't come to breakfast, she said. Ryan smiled awkwardly. Didn't think your people would want me there. They fear what they don't know, she said softly. But I don't. She handed him a piece of fruit. It tasted sweet, like honey mixed with rain. As they walked by the river, Ryan watched her move. Even though she couldn't see, she never stumbled. Her bare feet touched the earth lightly, as if the ground whispered to her where to step. You really can't see anything? Ryan asked. Lyra shook her head. Not like you do. I see with my heart, with sound, with the light around people. Every living thing has a light inside it. Yours burns brighter than most. He laughed gently. That sounds impossible. She tilted her head. Impossible for you, maybe. But for me, it's the only way I've ever known the world. Ryan grew quiet. When I touched your hand yesterday, I saw things, fire, people crying. A sky full of smoke. Lyra's smile faded. Those are memories of the past, from when your kind came here. He felt guilt twist in his chest. I didn't know. I wasn't part of that. I know, she said softly. You feel different. Your heart doesn't carry hate. Ryan looked at her, amazed by her calmness. How do you do that? How do you stay kind after what happened? Lyra bent down and touched the water. Because if I fill my heart with hate, I'll never see light again. Her words sank deep into him. She seemed fragile, yet stronger than anyone he'd ever met. As the sun set, strange colors filled the sky, green, gold, and violet. Lyra led him to a small hill covered in flowers that glowed faintly in the dark. This is where I come to listen, she whispered. Listen to what? The stars, Ryan chuckled. Stars don't make sounds, she smiled. They do. You just have to be quiet long enough to hear them. For a moment they stood in silence. Then Ryan heard something faint, a hum deep and distant like music coming from the sky. Lyra turned toward him. You hear it, don't you? He nodded slowly. What is it? My gift, she said. It lets me feel the voices between worlds. When I was born, my people said it was a curse. But I think it's a connection, between life and stars, between hearts. Ryan felt the air change around them. The flowers glowed brighter. He could almost feel her heartbeat through the space between them. Then Lyra whispered, Do you know why my brother wants me to marry you? Ryan shook his head. No, she sighed. He thinks if I bond with a human, the curse will fade, that I'll become normal. But I don't want to be normal, Ryan. I just want to understand. Her voice trembled. For the first time, she sounded unsure. Ryan stepped closer. You don't have to change for anyone. Not for me, not for your brother. Lyra smiled faintly. You speak like a soldier who has seen too much pain. He looked away. Maybe I have. Before he could say more, Lyra suddenly grabbed his arm. Her head tilted sharply as if hearing something only she could hear. What's wrong? He asked. She whispered, the air. It's shaking. Ryan listened but heard nothing. Then a low hum grew in the distance, mechanical, cold, and familiar. His heart froze. It sounded like a human engine. Lyra's face tightened. Something from the sky is coming. Something not alive. Ryan stood, eyes wide. It can't be. No ship should be able to pass this planet's storms. But Lyra's voice was steady. It's coming for you, Ryan. The stars have spoken. He stared at the sky, fear rising inside him. Somewhere beyond the clouds, a ship was breaking through. Lyra turned her blind face upward. Whatever it is, it will change everything. Ryan didn't know how she could sense what even his instruments once failed to detect. But one thing was clear. The girl who could not see was watching more than anyone else, and for the first time, he began to wonder if her blindness was not a weakness at all, but something far greater. The next few days passed like a dream, strange, quiet, and full of tension. Ryan stayed in the alien village, watched by eyes that never seemed to blink. The people spoke softly when he walked by, whispering things he couldn't understand. They smiled politely, but fear always hid behind their faces. Lyra was the only one who treated him like he belonged. Every morning she brought him food and spoke about simple things, the river, the wind, the stars. But Ryan could see that something heavy weighed on her heart. One evening, as the twin moons rose together, Chief Arian called for a gathering in the great circle of stones. The air buzzed with energy. Fires burned blue instead of orange. The whole tribe came together, dressed in silver robes that shimmered like water. Ryan stood near the edge, unsure if he should even be there. Lyra appeared beside him, her white gown flowing softly behind her. Her glowing skin reflected the moonlight, making her look almost unreal, like a spirit caught between worlds. "You look beautiful," Ryan whispered. She smiled shyly. "I cannot see myself, but I can feel that you mean it." Before Ryan could say more, Chief Arian raised his staff. "Tonight the stars have chosen," he said. "The bond between human and Arundel will be sealed. My sister Lyra, our light, will marry Ryan of Earth," the crowd murmured. Some bowed their heads. Others turned away. Ryan could feel their unease, but Lyra stood tall, unafraid. "This union," Arian continued, "is not only for hearts, but for peace. The old war between stars and sky must end. Let this marriage be the bridge." Ryan swallowed hard. He wasn't ready for this. He barely understood their customs, their rules, their gods. But when Lyra reached out her hand, he couldn't refuse her. The ceremony began. 2 glowing stones were placed between them. One bright white, one dark blue. The tribe chanted softly, their voices weaving through the air like wind. Lyra and Ryan knelt before the stones, their hands above them. "Touch," said Arian, "and let your souls speak." Ryan hesitated, then placed his palm against Lyra's. The moment their skin met, a shock of energy raced through him. Light exploded between their hands, and not fire, but living light that pulsed with color. The ground trembled. The twin moons above seemed to flicker. Ryan gasped. "What's happening?" Lyra's lips trembled. "The bond," she whispered. "It's real." Then the light carved symbols on their skin, strange runes that glowed faintly gold. The same pattern appeared on both their palms, pulsing with the same heartbeat. The tribe gasped as one. "The mark of souls," someone shouted. "It's the ancient sign." Arian's eyes widened. Even he seemed shocked. "That mark hasn't appeared in 1,000 years, he said softly. Ryan looked down at his hand. The symbol shimmered like a star, alive, almost breathing. "What does it mean?" Lyra's face was pale. "It means we are truly bound. Our hearts are minds, and they are one now." Ryan felt dizzy. His thoughts weren't his own anymore. When he looked at Lyra, he could feel what she felt: fear, wonder, and something else he couldn't name. Then she whispered, so only he could hear, "They think this bond will save me, but they don't understand what it truly is." "What do you mean?" he asked. She squeezed his hand. "This bond connects more than our hearts. It connects our souls across worlds. If one of us dies, the other will too." Ryan froze. The crowd was cheering now, but the words echoed in his mind like thunder. "If one of us dies, the other will too." Lyra smiled faintly, though her voice shook. "Don't look so frightened, Ryan. You didn't marry a monster." He tried to smile back, but something deep inside him whispered that everything had just changed forever. The music rose. Strange instruments made of crystal and wind. Dancers moved in circles, their robes glowing like mist. The tribe celebrated, but Ryan felt a shadow in the joy. He noticed that Arian never smiled. His silver eyes stayed locked on the glowing marks on their hands. Later that night, after the ceremony ended, Ryan and Lyra stood alone near the glowing river. The reflection of the moons shimmered in the water. "Are you happy?" he asked. She nodded slowly.
"Yes."
"But afraid. The bond is stronger than I thought." Ryan touched her cheek gently. "Whatever it is, we'll face it together." She smiled at his words, but her face turned toward the forest suddenly. Her expression changed. "They're watching," she whispered. Ryan turned but saw nothing. Only the shadows moved among the trees. "Who?" he asked. Lyra's voice dropped to a whisper. "The ones who don't want this union to exist." The air grew colder. A distant cry echoed through the woods. Not human, not animal. Ryan instinctively stepped closer to her. "What are they?" Lyra's blind eyes turned toward the darkness. "They are the old ones, the ones who believe no human should walk this world again." The light from their hands flickered like fading stars. Ryan took her hand firmly. "Then they'll have to get through me first." Lyra's lips curved in a small, sad smile. "You're brave, Ryan. But they don't kill with weapons. They kill with fear." And as the cold wind swept through the glowing forest, Ryan understood what she meant. Because even without seeing them, he could feel something ancient watching from the dark. The wedding of two worlds was done, but the price of that union had only just begun. The night after the wedding felt heavy, like the air itself carried secrets. Ryan couldn't sleep. The mark on his hand pulsed softly, glowing whenever he thought of Lyra. It wasn't just a symbol. It felt alive, as if something inside him was breathing through it. Outside his small shelter, the alien forest whispered with unseen life. The trees hummed faintly, and pale fireflies moved like drifting stars. Ryan stepped out, rubbing his temples. He didn't know whether to feel grateful or trapped. He was now tied to an alien girl whose world didn't trust him, and whose powers he didn't understand. He found Lyra sitting near the riverbank, her feet in the glowing water. She turned her head as he approached, smiling softly. "You couldn't sleep either." He sat beside her. "No, every time I close my eyes I feel something, like your heartbeat inside my mind." She nodded gently. "That is the bond. I feel it too. Your thoughts touch mine. Sometimes I can even see through them. Flashes, colors, feelings." Ryan looked down. "Then you know I'm afraid." "Yes," she whispered. "But you're not afraid of me. You're afraid of what I am." He didn't answer. The truth was too complicated. He admired her kindness, her courage. Yet every time her blind eyes turned toward him, he felt small, as if she could see more than sight ever could. After a long silence, Lyra spoke again. "You saw my memories before the wedding? The burning sky, the soldiers in white armor." Ryan's chest tightened. "Yes, I saw everything." She lowered her voice. "Those soldiers were human. Your kind came here long ago. They wanted the crystals in our land. They thought they could use them for power. But when the crystals resisted, the humans used weapons that poisoned the air. Many of us died. The rest unchanged." Ryan stared at the water, guilt twisting in his stomach. "I didn't know. No one told us that in the academy. They said the Arindan attacks were unprovoked." Lyra tilted her head. "History hides many lies," he sighed. "Maybe my people were the real monsters." Lyra touched his hand gently. "Not all humans are cruel. You saved me when you crashed. You tried to protect me during the bond. You feel guilt. That means you still have light inside you." Ryan looked at her, confused. "Light inside me?" She smiled faintly. "I can sense it. Every living soul has a light. Some are dim, some burn bright. Yours burns stronger when you feel pain." That's rare. He didn't know what to say. Her words felt too deep, too strange. But something inside him stirred, a warmth, a pulse that wasn't his own. Then Lyra's body stiffened. Her hand glowed suddenly, bright like lightning. The mark on Ryan's hand flashed in response. "Lyra!" he shouted, holding her shoulders. Her voice shook. Someone is near. Their hearts are dark." Ryan looked around but saw only trees and fog. Then from the shadows a figure stepped out. One of the Arindan guards. His eyes were silver but colder than the others. "Lyra," he said sharply, "your brother calls for you. He knows the bond mark appeared. He says it's forbidden." Lyra's expression didn't change, but her fingers tightened on Ryan's arm. Forbidden? She whispered. The guard frowned. No bond between human and Arendon has ever lived. The power destroys both. You must come to the temple at dawn. Ryan stood. She's not going anywhere alone. The guard's gaze hardened. The human speaks too much. Before Ryan could move, Lyra rose, calm and unafraid. It's all right, Kale. Tell my brother I will come. The guard hesitated, then vanished into the mist. Ryan turned to her. What did he mean, that the bond destroys both? Lyra looked down at their glowing marks. There is an old story, she said softly. When a human and an Arendon once shared the mark of souls, their power grew too strong. The stars burned and the sea swallowed their world. The bond was forbidden ever since. Ryan felt a chill. So what happens to us now? I don't know, she whispered. But I can feel something growing. Inside me, and inside you. She pressed her hand to his chest, and Ryan felt warmth spread through him. For a moment he could sense her heart, her memories. Everything. He saw a vision. Lyra as a child standing under a red sky, crying as human ships fired beams into the ground. Then he saw his own ship falling from the sky, but through her eyes. When the vision ended, both of them gasped. Lyra's hands trembled. Our bond is changing. It's merging our souls. If we're not careful, one of us will disappear inside the other. Ryan shook his head. Then we'll find a way to stop it. Together. Lyra smiled faintly, though her voice quivered. You talk like a hero, Ryan, but sometimes to save someone, you must let go. He reached out and held her hand. I'm not letting go of you. Above them, thunder rumbled. The sky flickered with red light. Lyra lifted her face to the storm. The stars are warning us, she whispered. Something terrible is coming. Ryan looked up, and far beyond the clouds, he saw a faint light moving across the sky. Not a star, a ship. His heart stopped. That's a human engine. Lyra turned toward him slowly. Then your world has found you. The mark on both their hands began to burn. And deep inside Ryan, he felt it. A connection waking, ancient and unstoppable, binding him to her fate. The hidden power had awakened. And it was only the beginning. The morning sky burned red. It wasn't sunrise. It was the glow of engines. Ryan stood on the cliff above the valley, his heart pounding as he stared at the heavens. Breaking through the storm clouds were 3 silver ships, human warships, their hulls shining with the mark of Earth's fleet. They moved like metal beasts, spreading trails of fire through the air. They found me, Ryan whispered. Beside him, Lyra stood still, her face turned upward, though she had no eyes. Her white robe fluttered in the wind. Yes, she said softly. They are hunters. They smell fear. Ryan's stomach twisted. Those ships, they'll think your people are a threat. They always do. She turned toward him, her voice calm but sad. Then your kind has not changed. Before he could answer, Chief Arian appeared with armed guards. His silver cloak shone like steel in the sunlight. Human, he shouted. You brought death to us. Ryan stepped forward. Listen to me. They don't know I'm alive. They'll scan for alien life and destroy everything. Arian's face darkened. You lied to us. You said your ship was broken. It was, Ryan snapped. They must have traced the crash signal. But if we fight them, they'll wipe us all out. The tribe's warriors raised their weapons, long crystal spears that glowed with energy. The ground vibrated with power. Ryan could feel the air pulsing. These people were ready to die. Lyra stepped between them, her voice clear and soft. Stop, everyone froze. Even Arian lowered his staff slightly. Lyra continued, Killing won't protect us. Hatred only feeds the storm. Her words seemed to calm the air, but Ryan could sense something else beneath them. Fear. She was trembling even as she spoke. Then the sky split open with thunder. The ships began to descend. Beams of white light scanned the ground, tearing through the forest, searching. Ryan grabbed Lyra's hand. We have to hide. She shook her head. No, we must reach them. Reach them? How? Lyra closed her eyes, or where her eyes should have been, and took a deep breath. Through the bond. Through you. Before Ryan could protest, she pressed her glowing palm against his chest. The mark on his hand blazed like fire. His vision blurred, the world spinning into color and sound. He saw the ships now from above, from inside. He saw the human commander giving orders. Scan all life signs. Prepare to cleanse the surface, Ryan gasped, pulling away. They're going to bomb the whole planet. Lyra's voice trembled. Then you must stop them. You are one of them. Speak through the stars before they destroy everything. He looked into her blank face. You mean connect to them? With your power? She nodded. Our souls are one now. If I open the link, your mind can reach theirs. But there is danger. What danger? If they reject the bond, she said softly, it will break us apart. Ryan hesitated only a moment. Do it. Lyra lifted her hands. The ground began to glow beneath her feet. Wind howled around them as light spiraled from their joined palms. The mark burned brighter until it became pure white. Ryan screamed as energy surged through him. He saw the ships again, closer this time. He could hear the crew shouting, the hum of weapons charging. Commander, he shouted into the vision. Stop the attack. This planet is not hostile. The crew froze. The commander turned sharply, confused. Who is this? Identify yourself. Ryan felt his throat tighten. It's Captain Ryan Cole, Earth Fleet 9th Division. My ship crashed here weeks ago. There's no threat here. These people saved me. Static filled his mind. The commander's face hardened. Captain Cole? You've been missing in enemy territory. We thought you were dead. Are you under alien control? No, Ryan shouted. Listen to me. Pain ripped through his chest. Lyra screamed beside him. The connection flickered. In his vision, he saw the commander raise his hand. Cut the link. Fire on target. No, Ryan yelled. The light exploded. The vision shattered. Ryan fell to the ground, gasping. Lyra collapsed beside him, pale and trembling. They didn't listen, he whispered. Lyra's voice was faint. Then there is only one way left. What way? She looked toward the sky, her face glowing faintly. I will show them what I see. Before Ryan could stop her, she rose slowly into the air. Her skin shone brighter and brighter until the whole valley glowed. The Arindans fell to their knees, covering their eyes. Ryan reached upward, shouting her name. From her body, waves of light spread outward. Not heat, not fire, but pure emotion. Grief, hope, fear, love. Up in orbit, the ships trembled. The pilots cried out as visions flooded their minds. Images of Lyra's world, her pain, her memories, the kindness of her people. For a moment, the human fleet saw the truth. Then the lights went out. Lyra fell back to the earth, silent and still. Ryan caught her, shaking. Lyra, wake up! Her voice was a whisper. I showed them what they couldn't see. He looked to the sky. The ships had stopped moving. They hovered, silent. And in that stillness, the first sign of peace appeared. The engines dimmed. But Ryan didn't celebrate. He looked down at Lyra's fragile form in his arms, her glow fading fast. Her last words drifted into his ears. Now it's your turn to save them all. Ryan held her tight as the twin moons rose, their light falling across both of them, the human and the blind alien girl, bound by fate. And above them, the hunter ships hung motionless, unsure whether to destroy or to finally understand. Silence fell over the valley after the light faded. The human ships no longer fired. They hung in the sky like cold moons, quiet and still. But Ryan barely noticed them. His world had narrowed to the fragile body in his arms. Lyra, please stay with me. Her skin no longer glowed. Her breathing was shallow, soft as wind through leaves. The mark on Ryan's hand dimmed with every heartbeat, as if her fading life was pulling his away too. Chief Aryan and the tribe ran toward them. His face, once filled with anger, now showed fear. What did she do? Ryan's voice cracked. She reached them. She made them stop. Aryan knelt beside his sister, trembling. Foolish girl. Her gift was never meant for mortals. Ryan looked up sharply. You call her gift foolish?
She saved you all.
Aryan's eyes glowed cold silver. At what cost? Look at her. The bond is draining her life, and yours. Ryan's hands shook. He could feel it too. His pulse slowed whenever hers weakened. The bond of souls was real, and it was killing them both. Lyra stirred slightly. Her voice was faint but clear. Don't fight. The stars don't like anger. Ryan leaned close. You have to rest. I'll fix this. I'll find a way to save you. She smiled weakly. You can't fix the stars, Ryan. But he didn't want to believe that. He stood and turned to Aryan. There must be something. A way to separate us. To break the bond. The chief hesitated. There is, but it will cost one life to save the other. Ryan's heart sank. Whose life? Arian's voice was steady. Whoever chooses to release the light inside them. The bond is balanced by shared soul energy. To free one, the other must let go. Ryan stared at him, unable to speak. The choice was unbearable. Her life or his. Lyra's trembling hand reached for his. Ryan, look at me. He knelt again, taking her fingers in his. They were ice cold. If one of us must go, she whispered, it should be me. Don't you dare say that. She smiled faintly. You're human. Your people still need you. Mine have me in their hearts already. He shook his head. No, I'm not leaving you. I'd rather die with you than live without you. For a long moment, neither spoke. The only sound was the hum of the distant ships and the soft cry of the wind. Then Lyra's voice grew softer. You once told me humans see the stars with their eyes, but I see them with my heart. And right now my heart sees only you. Ryan felt his throat tighten. He brushed a strand of silver hair from her face. Then let your heart see what love really means when staying alive, not giving up. Lyra closed her sightless eyes. You always speak like a hero. Maybe I learned that from you. A distant explosion shook the ground. The ships in the sky were moving again. Ryan looked up and saw one of them burning. Another ship had arrived, firing on the fleet. It was chaos in the heavens. Arian's face turned grim. More humans come. The sky will burn again. Ryan's mind raced. If they fight here, everyone dies, humans and Arendans. He turned to Lyra. We can stop this. You connected minds before. You made them feel your pain. Can you do it again, but stronger? She hesitated. If I open the bond to all of them, it will destroy me. I'll share it with you, Ryan said firmly. We'll do it together, her lips trembled. That's suicide. It's love, he whispered. For a long second, Lyra said nothing. Then she nodded slowly. Then let's show them what love can do. They stood together in the center of the valley. The tribe gathered around, watching silently. The mark on their hands began to glow once more, brighter, purer than before. Lyra reached out. Are you ready? Ryan squeezed her hand. Always. The air split open with white light. The bond ignited. This time the energy didn't burn. It sang. The light spread upward, touching the clouds, reaching space. Every human aboard the ships froze as visions flooded their minds. Images of Arendan children laughing. Of Lyra's memories. Of Ryan holding her as the world shook. They felt her emotions. Her fear. Her kindness, her forgiveness. And through Ryan, they saw themselves in the cruelty of war, the waste of hate. The commanders screamed, covering their eyes, unable to bear the truth. Weapons fell silent, but on the ground, Ryan and Lyra were fading. Their light grew so bright it swallowed their forms. Arian shouted, Lyra! Stop, you'll vanish. Her voice echoed through the air. We are not vanishing, brother. We are becoming. Ryan's final thought before the light consumed him was her voice saying, Thank you for showing me what love looks like. Then silence. The ships in orbit powered down. No one could fire. The war was over because for the first time, humans had seen through alien eyes. In the valley below, only 2 glowing marks remained on the ground, burning softly like twin stars, one for the human, one for the blind girl who had seen more than anyone ever could. The war that should have ended the world ended instead in silence. For 3 whole days, the sky above Erinda stayed calm. The ships that once roared like thunder now drifted quietly, like great shadows afraid to move. Down in the valley, smoke still curled from the burned trees, but the people were alive. And in the center of that valley, under the twin moons, 2 figures lay side by side. One human, one alien, both motionless. Chief Arian stood over them, his face hidden by his silver hood. Around him the tribe whispered prayers. Their light still lingers, one said softly. Perhaps they are not gone, but Arian said nothing. His eyes were fixed on the faint glow that still burned on the ground. 2 golden marks crossing like stars in the dust. At dawn, the light pulsed, once, twice. Then a soft breath escaped Ryan's lips. He opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was light. Not sunlight, not fire, but something softer, living. His body ached, but he was alive. He sat up slowly and looked beside him. Lyra was there, still, pale as snow. "Lyra," he whispered, touching her hand. It was cold at first, then warm. Her fingers twitched. Her lips moved. "Ryan." He caught her hand, his heart racing. "I'm here. You made it. You saved them." Lyra's breathing grew steady, though her face was weak. "I thought we became stars." Ryan smiled through tears. "Maybe we did, but the stars sent us back." Around them, the Arindans gasped. The chief fell to his knees, unable to speak. The bond mark on Ryan's hand glowed again, but softer this time, peaceful. Lyra opened her eyes slowly. Ryan froze. For the first time, her eyelids lifted, and beneath them were eyes, pure and silver like moonlight. He whispered, "You can see." Lyra looked around, wonder filling her face. "So much light," she said. "So much color." She turned to Ryan, smiling through tears. "I always imagined your face, but it's so much kinder than I dreamed." He laughed shakily, wiping his eyes. "You always said you could see hearts. Now you can see mine." Lyra reached out and touched his cheek. "I can see it. It's beautiful." Above them, the sky shimmered. One by one, the human ships began to descend, not in attack but in peace. From their hulls, white lights beamed down, not as weapons but as signals. Ryan looked up, recognizing the pattern. "They're calling for parley. They want to talk?" Lyra smiled faintly. "Then let them come." Hours later, human soldiers stood in the valley, tense, cautious, their weapons lowered. At their head was Commander Hale, the man Ryan had seen in his vision. His face was pale as he looked at the alien tribe and then at Ryan. "Captain Cole," he said quietly. "You were right, we saw everything." Ryan nodded. "Then you know what they are. Not enemies, not monsters." Hale's gaze moved to Lyra. "That girl, she showed us our own cruelty. It broke something in us." He swallowed hard. "We came to fight. Instead, we learned to feel." Lyra stepped forward. Her voice was gentle but firm. "War blinds both sides. I was blind once too. But now I see clearly, and not with eyes, but with truth." Her words hung in the air like music. Even the soldiers lowered their heads. Arian approached her, his expression soft for the first time. "Sister," he said, "you have done what no one could. You made the stars listen." Lyra turned to Ryan. "Not I alone. A human heart walked beside me." The commander stepped closer to Ryan. "Captain, Earth needs to hear this. The fleet will listen to you now." Ryan looked around. The alien tribe, the humans, the twin moons above. For the first time, he saw no division between them. Only life. He took Lyra's hand and faced both groups. "War begins when we stop seeing each other as people. Maybe peace begins when we finally do." The valley fell silent. Then slowly, one by one, humans and Arindans began to bow their heads in agreement. Lyra smiled softly. "You speak like a leader," Ryan grinned. "No, just someone who finally opened his eyes." She laughed gently, and the sound echoed through the valley like light. That night, as the humans repaired their ships and shared food with the Arindans, Ryan and Lyra stood on the hill where they first met. The stars were brighter than ever. Lyra leaned against him. "Do you think your people will change?" Ryan looked at the glowing sky. "Maybe not all at once, but today was the first step," she smiled. "Then I'm glad I can finally see it." He turned to her. "What do you see?" Her eyes shimmered like silver rain. "I see hope. I see light." "I see you." Ryan kissed her forehead, his voice soft. "You were never truly blind, Lyra." She looked up at the stars. "No," she whispered. But the universe was. The twin moons rose high, their light spreading across the world that had almost died, now reborn through love, pain and courage, and somewhere far above, among the endless stars, two new lights appeared, glowing side by side. Some said they were only stars. Others believed they were souls, human and alien, watching over both worlds. Whatever they were, they shone brighter than any war, any fear, any darkness. They were the eyes of the heart, and they would never close again.